and pick up new clothes because you only have what's on your back. Sometimes you need to make phone calls and figure out, insurance and starting the process of moving forward. Mm-hmm. And so they have that for the next 3 days for people as well. It's all of the immediate necessities, but it's also all of those other things that is part of living life, that you're not thinking about at the very moment, but then a couple days in and you're like, well, we gotta do something with the kid. Right. It's just a normalcy, routine for the day. Can you imagine you're on the hold with insurance and you've got your kids there and you got
Crystal, thank you for that information. Yes, I seen that. We're going to talk about that. I'm going to talk to you guys. Let me just say hello real quick. I'm inside. We're going to talk. First of all, today, Jimmy Carter, they buried him. Trump was there and other presidents. We're going to go behind the truth. Only on this station, people will talk about it. Not many people are going to talk about this or are worried about talking about it, but we're going to talk about that. Hello, Janine and Captain Reese. Before I go any farther, moderators, I'm sure it's going to be a lot of traffic in here again. Make sure you sit back and enjoy the content. The timeouts. If you miss a few, that's fine. Let's not go nuts. The trolls could be ignored. Just wanted to say, but you know what? At the end of the day, it's whatever it is, right? Do what you can do, and I appreciate everything you're doing. I really do. Big Sexy, how are you? Now, I'm going to show you and give you information. I cannot give out a name. Very good friend of mine. And I can't get him on live because there's no electric. What she told me. You're going to be surprised on this live. You can take it as a grain of salt. I'm telling you the truth. My right hand, what in the world's going on? Was this an act of arson? Or even worse, terrorist attack on American soil? Or Gavin Newsom. We're going to talk about that, Gavin Newsom and Trump and the fire hydrants. Excuse me, and what the hell is going on? I'm going to take a look at the fires here real quick. So these are the cars. These are the maps. This fire's 5 is confirmed dead.
The triangles are the current outages. Oh my gosh, look at that, right?
I will share some good news. Thank you, Crystal. Let me go ahead and get that done. Let me get that done before I forget, Crystal. Thank you so much for being here. Let me wait for everybody to come in. While we wait for everybody to come in, here's what we'll do. This is we'll listen to a little bit of Jimmy Carter's. Oh, I can't find it. All right. Hold on one second, guys. Hold on one second. Just give me a short second. I'm working here alone today, trying to get all my equipment running. Come on in, guys. We're talking about these terrible, terrible fires. Let me wait for some more. Bob, how are you, Bob? How's everybody doing? I'm just going to make sure I have everything all worked out on my filters, my messages. Wi-Fi looks good. Whoops, sorry, guys. Hold on. Bear with me, guys. I am by myself. I'm trying to work the iPad and the camera. We're going to talk. We got a lot to talk about. I'm going to tell you what my friend said first, and then we're going to get into Trump and Gavin Newsom, as you can see in the thumbnail. Look at this. It looks like a very, very bad movie, except it wasn't. This is California. This is parts of California, ladies and gentlemen.
Probably 500, maybe more homes out there as I just get wider and wider.
I want to say also, too, before I forget, if you can, friendly reminder to hit the like button if you haven't already. Leave your comments. You can voice your opinion and disagree, but I'm going to give you the facts. I'm going to give you some facts, heavy facts. Look at this, a war zone, a complete war zone.
When you talk about a brush fire and you say, oh, there's some homes that have been destroyed, I never picture anything like this. This is just blocks after blocks after blocks of that neighborhood.
Wow.
Here, and you can just see it just goes and goes and goes.
Yeah, we're going to talk about Gavin Newsom a little bit. I'm waiting for more people to come in, and I'm going to give you what I know. We will talk about the coverage that you send me, the coverage, Crystal, and other notes, information I have. I'm going to wait for more to come in. I'm going to repeat this a few times, but I don't want to repeat it 100 times. If I could only repeat it 50 times, it'd be a lot better. So we're going to repeat it, but I'm going to wait for more to come in, and we're going to talk about what I know, what Trump is, what Trump knew. So let's give me a few minutes. and we'll talk about this. There's a lot of stuff going around the internet.
Possibly have at your fingertips. How do you battle an entire neighborhood?
This is sad here. I got this coverage here. It's not the firefighters' fault. They're shorthanded. They're shorthanded. They are shorthanded on these fires. That's part of it too. Why? We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about why they're shorthanded. Why is the fire department? Why are we shorthanded in the chat? Take a guess. Come on in. Let's talk about what the hell's going on here.
But then when you really kind of push in, you can see every single home out here.
We're going to talk about the situation on ground here. I'm tired of hearing people believe. It's a shame that we're so gullible on believing. I knew right away, but I like to get the facts that this wasn't. They're saying it now. It's climate change, right? Of course. Hold on. Here's what they're saying, guys.
And what hit me the most is when you put up the
Oh, dry. It's very dry. Yes, it's very dry. Now we're going to get into it. Let's see if we got some more coming in. Come on in, guys.
and I'm sure a lot of people for the first time seeing their communities
It's dry.
names and
No rain. That's all true. The biggest problem is when you're going to have fires in the dry season of California and Las Vegas. We have fires in Vegas too, in the mountains, and Sierra Nevada. You have to be on top of your game. Was this done on purpose? I don't know. Was it a terrorist attack? I don't know. I do know for a fact, my friend, here we go. We're going to get into Gavin Newsom in a second, Crystal. My friend, my wife's friend, who I can't disclose her name, said to me, this was the last message, and we haven't heard from her. Our prayers are with her. She said, and I quote, they are starting the fires. Listen what I just said. She's in the middle in a very wealthy neighborhood. Who is they, are starting the fires. Then we're going to get into what I'm hearing. Who is starting these fires? Are these just people that are looting? Are they just taking advantage of the situation? A. B. Is this part of a much bigger story where part of the Las Vegas cyber attack, New Orleans, domestic terrorism? B. Or C. Did Gavin Newsom let his guard down? When we covered this story 2 days ago, everybody's saying, oh, it's just dry. Guys, let's wake up. Why was there no water in the fire hydrants? Why? Trump said it. Trump warned them. He says, it's global warming, Gavin Newsom. He says we have to be careful with our sources of water. We have to be careful with our source of water. Meaning when it snows in the mountains in parts of California. One of them is Big Bear. Beautiful California. Beautiful state. When the snow melts down, he says, nope, we want that to go right in the ocean. We're worried about climate change. Now, I'm going to give you some notes here. I had to write down some notes here. So, Gavin Newsom, he says, we have to manage the water. We need to manage the water, guys. Are you just listening to me? Gavin Newsom says, we got to worry about climate change and worry about our water, our vegetarian in California. Trump says there was plenty of water that they let go in the ocean. Donald Trump, who's our president, less than 8 days, guys? Correct me if I'm wrong. 8 days will be president of the United States. He says Gavin Newsom should be investigated. Environmental concerns. Gavin Newsom says this is environmental concern. You imagine him being a president of the United States? Guys, can you imagine if Gavin Newsom would be the president of the United States? God forbid. What happened to this party? Republicans included. Do they really want us to be eliminated on Earth? Is that what they want? Or am I going too far? Maybe I'm going a little far, but I can tell you this. The water should have never went in the ocean. The water, in my opinion, being a little bit of a journalism that you can get your news and trust me. Because other news outlets and Fox and CNN are not going to talk about it. Even other YouTube channels, for some reason, they're scared to talk about it. I'm not. I'm not scared to talk about it. This was an act of horrible decision based on this climate Al Gore change and putting the water in the ocean. You know what, guys? If they had the water and the sources in the fire hydrant, I know everybody's waiting for the fire hydrant, then maybe we could have, it wouldn't have been that bad. Now, we would have still had a fire. There would have been homes damaged. I'll read some comments in a minute. There would have been some things happening, right? But it wouldn't have been like this. This would not be like this. There should be water in the fire hydrants. Excuse me. I apologize. Now, what I'm hearing is then when they turn the fire hydrants on, you know what? There was no pressure. It's like, when you go to a hotel and you don't have pressure in the water, or maybe a pipe in your house is not working right. You need no pressure. How are you putting out a fire? That water is coming out the water plants. Are you kidding me? He said it was a big mistake. Newscomb, he says it wasn't his fault. He said that wasn't his fault. Newscomb says, I'm sorry about that. We didn't have the water pressure up. He said they didn't have the water pressure ready. This guy should be impeached, prosecuted, and put behind bars today, if these are the facts. This is a shame. How people are dead. 5 people died. People lost their homes. People are devastated. Loss of lives, loss of animals. We're looking at the beaches. Homes are destroyed. It doesn't look like Santa Monica, California. That's what we're looking at. I think that's Santa Monica, right? That's Santa Monica, California. Homes there. And it upsets me too. I read some comments, guys, and moderators, you don't need to remove these people for saying it. I'm just saying it upsets me when they say, oh, these are billion-dollar homes. These are rich people. They can afford a new one. That upsets me. Rich people are important. Poor people are important. Homeless are important. You guys are important. I'm important. That's loss of stuff and memories. That upsets me just a little bit, just my opinion, when they say, oh, they can just build another one. It might be easier for them. Those people worked hard. It's a shame that California went down like this, and I believe in the chat, let me ask you this in the chat. Do you believe Gavin Newsom's, yes or no? It's a simple thing, or you can say Y or N real quickly. Yes or no, or Y or N. Is Gavin Newsom, or Gavin Newsom, to be a little friendlier, blame, or somewhat blame? I'm not going to say 100% blame, but is he 80% blame in this? Yes or no? I'll wait for your response. Terrible, terrible. Terrible that this fire is 0% contained. Janine says yes. Daniel says yes. White says yes. William says yes. Cynthia, welcome in. Reggie, how are you? We're looking live on this Thursday, the 9th, as they bury Jimmy Carter today. Bob says no. Welcome in, Bob. Inye says yes. Robert Delane. And now welcome in, guys. This is sad because today's the funeral of Jimmy Carter as Trump, Barack Obama, and some of the other presidents, George Bush, was there. This is Sky Fox 5. Mark Smith, how you doing, Mark? Good to see you. God bless you and your family. Hope you're okay. This is Galloway Street. Galloway Street.
Just anything that they can as all of this is destroyed.
Everything's destroyed.
Let's go back out now. Sky Fox Images.
Guys, we have 9 likes. Welcome in. 203 in this chat. Good morning or good afternoon. If friendly reminder, if you could go back and hit the like, as it helps the our YouTube channel algorithm. Thank you. Bob, I didn't say I didn't believe. Bob, first of all, Bob, God bless you and welcome in, and thank you for all your support, Bob. I appreciate it. No, I never said I didn't believe in climate change. I never said that, and I'm not being a smart ass, Bob. I never said that. There might be something to climate change. Stay with me, Bob. The problem is, our dilemma is, how much do we know about it? How much we can do about it? The sources we know. I never said that. And I'm not just pointing you out, Bob. I'll just say to anybody, including my mom. My mom asked me that, Bob. How's that? I got to tell you, my mom has changed. She's not a Trump supporter, but she's changed after watching this. What I'm saying is, this could have been prevented. A lot of it. They could have had water on to the fire hydrants and moist, had everything wet because they know this is dry. It hasn't rained since I apologize, guys. I haven't had all my coffee. Prayers and thoughts before we go any farther on this tragedy. We're 3 days in this. What I'm trying to say is they could have had stuff. We had water. They could have wet everything down in the foothills and the mountains, right? They did a good job as far as evacuation, but Gavin Newsom should have had pressure on these fire hydrants. He's worried about climate change. If you're worried about climate change, why are you putting the water into the ocean? He wants to be conservative, is what I said, I think, Bob. Correct me if I'm wrong. He wants to be conservative and keeping the water, putting the water in the ocean. No. When it snows in California, believe me, guys, in California, correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. Last year and the year before, it snowed a lot. That water is supposed to go down into the mountains, so you have the sources of water, is what I'm trying to say. Now, as far as climate change, there might be a little something to it. Maybe more than something to it. But this is an issue of, you know damn right well, either it was lightning. I'm going to rule out lightning because it hasn't been a storm. Some kind of a arson. I'm not saying that Gavin Newsom went out there and sparked the fire. He did not. But you could say he let his guard down sleeping, worrying about Al Gore and the climate change is what I was alluding to. That's what I was alluding to. Now, people have lost their homes. 5 people are dead because of these stupid mistakes by the government, and the government is Gavin Newsom. That's what I'm trying to say. The water should not go into the ocean, and the water should be in a fire hydrant with high pressure. Like not the pressure you have to wash your driveway or your windows in your house. High pressure. These fire department guys you'll imagine being a fire department chief and you say, okay, let's put these fires out. It's windy. And by the way, the wind has a lot to be participating in this. And you have no water or little water. You imagine like this is the water they had. Let me show you something. This is the water they had. You imagine having that water? This water coming out of a fire hydrant. How the hell is that water? How are we living, guys? Why has our government failed us? Is that water going to put out fires like this? How are you going to put out fires? Look at the fire department. These are Democrats, Republicans, Independents. These are all team. You know what's going through their mind? How are we living? And I got to be honest. It's not even Gavin Newsom's fault. What the hell's wrong with this guy? He's conquered it. He's being told this by the leaders of our nation. In my opinion, the leader Barack Obama, Nancy Pelosi, Al Gore, just a few of them. They're behind all this clean energy. So it's not that I don't think there's no climate change, guys. It's the fact that they don't care. They don't care because people have lost their homes. And now it's happened in their state. And, I was going to say a huge Democrat, but now people are changing. So Trump will be in office soon. I feel confident that, are you going to still have fires when Trump's president? Yes. Are you going to have mistakes when Trump is president? Yes. Are you going to have is Trump going to be perfect? Hell no. But you're not going to have this. This is bad. And I also think this also could be, people are going to say, the fire started by what? Dryness. Bullshit. Guys, let's wake up. Share the video. Why is other people afraid to talk about the truth? Do you actually think the fires just started by themselves, guys? In the chat, yes or no? Did the fire start by themselves? Now, the wind, that's Mother Nature. Mother Nature. We need rain. Let's pray for rain. Pray to somebody, guys. Pray to your Uncle Joey. We need rain. But these fires did not start from themselves. Okay? No way. Now, match, arson, some kind of a domestic terrorism, whatever. I think you could rule out lightning, right? Not 100%. These fires were intentionally started. 95% of fires are by a man or a woman. All right? So let's stop it with it's just dry. It's dry and one little leaf caught on fire. No, bullshit. Bullshit. All right, let's look in.
Breaking out all across Los Angeles County. This, I do believe, is some aerial footage from the aftermath of the Palisades fire. That broke
Just horrible. Some of the footage here.
Ravaging and devastating.
Devastated.
Several neighborhoods. You can see here so many of those structures.
Thank you for the likes. Appreciate it.
Has forced tens of thousands to flee their homes as mandatory evacuations continue for many parts of California.
We're going to start with the deadly wildfires out in California. That's where thousands.
Funeral. My name is Karal Lahara, and we are transitioning now to cover those fires, the aftermath, and what officials are saying now to make sure that everyone in the area does stay safe.
So 4 fires are burning. At least this is all 2 dead. It's up to 5 are dead, deceased now. So that's not up. This is Jimmy Carter. May he rest in peace. As he was the 39th president, Jimmy Carter. May he rest in peace. By the way, a little history on Jimmy Carter. I didn't agree on his political, but he did good for the homeless. He built with his 2 hands. Jimmy Carter will go down as a helping the homeless and vets. In my opinion, he did good with his hands. I don't want to sit here on the day of his funeral and badmouth. That's just me. There's other times for that. May he rest in peace and prayers with his family. And he did good for the homeless. That's a fact. He did good. And I like that because we do good for the homeless on here. So I want to give him that. And he was a nice man. It was a perfect storm because he ran on being honest. Now, we're not going to talk about today all the mistakes he made. I'm not going to do it. We're going to get back to the fires. But I will applaud him on some of the work that he did off that helping out the homeless. Let's get back to the fires.
It's just, again, the impact of this is...
Welcome in. If I missed anybody, I'll get back to some more comments in a little bit. We have 207 watching. 19 likes. Appreciate it. Thank you. We're early in Las Vegas because I have some stuff to do later on this afternoon, and I thought this was important. As my loyal subscriber and moderator who helps out, Crystal, send me some information to discuss, and I will look into anybody who has information for me, and we are discussing that on this live, as well as my friend, my wife's friend, who says they are starting the fires in California. She goes, they are starting. Now, we have not contact with her since.
That the website you see on your screen is a great resource for residents there. We were showing you at the time because that's a region that was hit as well.
Yes, the Topanga Coalition for Emergency Preparedness, that is tcep.org.
Hold on, guys. I'm looking for some
status. So I'll say it again since it's not coming up. tcep.org/emergency status. All right. We are going to welcome you now to the 10 o'clock.
All right, we're back to the fires.
Coverage continues of the wildfires.
So 0, you can see it in my screen. 234 acres, 0% contained on this Thursday. Listen what I'm saying, guys. Thursday, 0% contained. 3 days in fires.
Making containment so difficult. At this point, pretty much 0 containment, except for the Hearst fire, I believe, is 10%.
Yeah, will they get to 750 in FEMA? Good question.
Burning in the LA area right now. The Palisades fire in the Pacific Palisades of
Hold on 1 second, guys. Sorry.
fire as well above Altadena and the Hearst fire in the Selmar area. We also have the Sunset fire in the Hollywood Hills. But the weather has been cooperating this morning, Maria.
So really the good news right now, the winds have continued to be on the much lighter side.
30,000 acres. 30,000 acres have been reported.
Now fighting these blazes, we're seeing those fixed wing aircraft, we're seeing the air assets go up, which is fantastic. The winds, as you can see here, so different from the last couple of days. Still an offshore flow with us, so...
Yeah, so I'm just reading some comments here. Listen, you guys don't have to believe this. I don't expect you to. I would not make anything like this up. And my wife said, don't you dare mention her name because of safety. Her friend, my wife's friend, called her up this morning. I was sleeping. I slept a little bit. And she quote, Maribel, they are starting the fires now. Now, they could be arson. What do you call these people? I'll just say terrible people. Terrible people, lovebirds, hello, are starting these fires, adding to the fire. How's that? These terrible people are adding to the fire. Could be. Or they, meaning who? Who is starting it? Who's behind this? Government? Government officials? Or terrorism? I mean, come on. We've had this New Orleans. We've had this cyber in Las Vegas that we've been covering. last week. Who are they? And now we don't hear from her. My wife has texted her multiple times in between her clients. We don't hear from her. If you live in California, let us know what you're hearing. Let us know, are you hearing, are people committing arson? Are people adding to the fire? What are you hearing? This is upsetting to me. You might not be living there. Maybe you're in Vegas. Maybe you're in Florida or Alabama or Connecticut. Maybe you're in Oregon. Maybe you're away from there. But these are humans. And, we deserve answers, but unfortunately, we won't get the answers until Trump is in office. And maybe even when Trump's in office, we might not get the answers. But we know for sure this fire hydrant water was horrible. So the water pressure in these fire hydrants was coming out. You will imagine trying to fight a fire like this, guys. All right, we got to get a fire out. That's how the water is coming out. I mean, I'm sure hopefully it was coming out a little bit more than that, but you kind of get the message. What is going on with this Gavin Newsom? All right, I'll be nice. Can I be nice? Should I be nice in the chat? Should I be nice? I need coffee. I'll be nice. Gavin Newsom. Let me make it clear. He's not all blame. And he's also a puppet. And he's also being told. Right? But yeah, thank you, Gavin Newsom. Because he's worried about water. Well, we know it's high season in fire season. We haven't had rain, right? Donald's in the house. Hello, Donald Trump. And we are going to let the water last year and the years before from the mountains, we'll just let it go in the ocean. We don't need the water on a day like this when it gets dry. Guys, weather changes. Let me talk about climate change. Somebody asked me about climate change. There could be something out there, right? I was in Yellowstone. I was in, help me out, Glacier National Park. Glacier. Did I say it right? Man, I need coffee. Yeah, it's melting. Here's the deal. Weather changes. In the 70s when I grew up, we had years of heavy, heavy snow. And then after that, 2-3 years, no snow. Warmer temperatures. Now, I will admit, it's been a little warm here in Vegas this year. Although tomorrow, it's going to get cold. We haven't had any moisture in Vegas. Normally, we get a snowstorm in the mountains in Las Vegas. But our governor here is ready. He has prepared. He has water here from Lake Mead. They're doing the best they can. This governor, a Democrat governor, even if he was a Republican governor, I would call him or her out. That's what I do. I will call Trump out. You guys heard me call Trump out a few times, and my conservative friends got mad at me. I will call him out. I call my own self out sometimes. I'm not going to call myself out yesterday for being too damn lazy, not helping the homeless people out. So, I call it as it is. I'm going to go out today. This is an act of him listening to, reading the script of Al Gore. If you people, young or old, don't know who Al Gore is, look him up. He started this whole thing. Let's take the water and put it in the ocean. So now Gavin Newsom, I can't, says this is part of climate change. This is part of everything being dry. He might be right to a degree. Well, Gavin Newsom, why didn't you have the water and had the water ready here and wet everything down, had everything moist? So now when you had these fires, guess what? It wouldn't have been this bad and severe. So Trump is right again. He's correct again. Trump is correct on this particular issue again. Now, where I disagree a little bit with Trump, just a little bit, I wouldn't say it's 100% his fault. And the only reason I don't say it's 100% his fault, because he's being told from these other people, Barack Obama, Al Gore, and Nancy Pelosi. So I don't blame him 100%. I blame him 80%. And yes, the wind, when you have a storm like this and it's windy, yes, you're going to have these problems. Let's take a look. Look at this beautiful. Here's a better look here. Here's another outlet news. Welcome in, everybody.
Altadena. Brian, thank
22
you.
likes. Thank
For
you.
much more on the situation on the ground, I'd like to go now to Pasadena Fire Chief Chad Augustin. Chad, thank you so much, Chief, for giving us some of your time. First of all, let's talk about the effort to tackle these fires from your
Yeah, I know it's
perspective.
not regular fire. It's not a normal
Immediate
fire
approach at
season,
this time.
but you got to be prepared.
Good morning, and thank you for having me.
Thank you,
The
Huck.
first 24 hours were just really difficult and challenging. Not enough resources, staggering fire, and like unprecedented wind conditions. We're getting a lot of additional resources in from all up and down the state and even out of state. We have two different incidents.
I'm going to turn around one more time for a little bit, guys. I see there's 25 likes. I want to appreciate the people that are on here, my loyal subscribers once again, and the 26 likes. Just a friendly reminder to support other YouTube channels as well as the one you're listening to here. I'm Sal Capano. I'm your host. I'm talking about things that other people maybe are uncomfortable talking about or scared. I'm not scared to talk about. I like to report what I know and the friend and what they're telling me. I will knock anybody, and that's including Trump. That's what I do. I give you the reasons and my thoughts, and it's up to the chat to disagree. You don't have to agree with me. If you disagree, I am not upset. All right, just read the comment from Crystal there in the pin. Hello, Frank. I'll read some comments here in a little bit. But what I'm trying to say is other stations are, for some reason, they're scared. I don't know what the hell they're scared about. Just give out the truth. CNN, I gotta say though, CNN, hold on, guys. At least CNN said about the fire hydrants. CNN. So shout out to CNN. Yeah, why wasn't there pressure? Because my mom watches CNN. And she says, Salvi, they should have talked about that.
Of possible human remains there in the Palisades fire.
Yes, Ozzy. Thank you, HC Love and Lovebirds. Thank you so much for being on here. We missed you yesterday, Lovebirds. Ronald Jackson 1. Welcome to the chat. God bless you. This is an attack on American soil. Well, I'm saying American soil. He says an attack. I agree, maybe. Maybe. Look at this, guys. Let's turn around.
That fire raced through homes.
Holy.
So rapidly. There's going to be...
Guys, this is January 9th. We're on a holiday. May he rest in peace, Jimmy Carter. And this has not been contained. This fire that we're watching on the screen has not been contained. I hear you, Frank Eagle. Frank, what's going on, Frank? I hope you're doing well, Frank. 5 are killed. 5 are killed. Too many 5 lives. 1 is too many.
Some hydrants that were dried out. We know that officials there in LA County were taking questions on this just about an hour or so ago. What more can you tell us? How has that impacted the fight? How will that...
Elderly people, respiratory, lost their homes, can't breathe. So many other people are going to be hospitalized. Thank you for the 31 likes. Hopefully they'll have somewhere where you can actually help these people out. It's pathetic, Frank. Really is pathetic. You know, it's hard for me to digest that none of us are perfect. No governor's perfect. No president is perfect, right? That we can live in 2025. I almost said 2024 and not care about residents in California. Look at this. Cars. I mean, yes, this can be replaced, but this is sad. It looks like the end of the war. Excuse me. End of the world. Sorry. End of the war. I wish it was the end of the war. End of the... Look at this. I heard Hunter Biden's house got destroyed. I did not hear that. I heard... Oh, did you hear that, Ozzy? I did not hear that. But yeah, he lives in his fire areas. Let me just say this. And I just say it as it is. Prayers are with him, right? I'm not going to get into horrific things that he did. But prayers are with everybody in this, right? These are human beings. But I did not hear that. But this is... You know, I was covering this. When did I start covering this, Ozzy? When did I start covering this? Tuesday?
Dad, what's going on?
Oh, the fires. I forget when I start covering this. Tuesday. When did this start? Tuesday?
Hi, chat.
I covered this Tuesday. When did this all start? Tuesday? Monday? And I was asking the question, who started this? And they're saying, you know what they're saying? This was because it was dry. So they want us to believe. Lovebirds, thank you. 3 days ago.
Some had no water. The fire think one
All right, hold on. We have a loyal subscriber on the phone. Go ahead. Blank out your face. We don't need to see your face. Go ahead.
They think it has a lot to do with that. It could be a terrorist thing.
A terrorist
Somebody
attack.
just said it. That somebody could have just said it because he says the fire were going towards Malibu in a different way. The way the wind was taking it, it's weird the way it happened. So they have firefighters from Vegas, from everywhere going over there. And Newsom declined the payment for. I guess they were going to put water in the fire hydrants in some kind of water thing to flow to hit California, and he denied it.
So he denied
They
it.
have no water. Yeah, he denied it. You didn't read that. It was in the news. He denied it, so that's why Trump said that was mad at him because he denied the water, and now they have nothing that the fire's off with.
Wow.
Because the fire hydrants don't work.
Wow. That's our government.
Would you
everybody.
mind being anonymous and coming on live and telling the viewers that? Or you I can block your face out and everything?
Thank you so much for your time.
We're gonna get tell you what, guys. If you're out there, I can get you on the live. If what you hear is what you just, this is scary. If this is true, Gavin Newsom belongs in behind the bars under investigation. But who's going to investigate him? The FBI? Because the FBI is corrupted too. And then ones who are not corrupted, because I have a very good friend, I got to be careful with my words. I don't have to be careful. I smoke cigars with him. You know what he says? Sal, I'm not corrupted. I said, no, I don't think you are. You know what he said to me? I'm scared. I said, what are you scared about? He says, I'm scared I have family. I'm not scared about me. So the ones that are not corrupted, they're scared. No water. Look, here this lady, no water. Here she is.
To help in any way that we can. It's not over. It's not over. There's spot fires everywhere.
Horrible.
Have you seen anything this bad before in your neighborhood? How long have you lived here?
Never.
Never.
My family's been here since 1980. Never. There have been hills in the mountains, of course, but nobody ever thought these neighborhoods were at risk. And a third of the homes are gone.
I remember when Eaton Canyon burned 30 years ago.
Yeah.
And Garish burned. But I pulled around the corner last night and Eaton Canyon exploded. And we ran back to the house and started knocking on all the doors and saying, get your stuff and get out. Because it's right here. It's right here. And that's what we did.
News Nation with affiliate KTLA was the first.
It's so sad. You know, guys, what's going to happen? You know it. You guys are reading my mind, I bet you. Read my mind.
With 6,000 journalists across the country, News Nation.
Let me lower it. I got to tell you, people in California, I was going to use the words wake up, but in better words, people are going to realize we don't have to like Trump. We're going to stand behind President Trump in a few days. What do we have? Less than a couple days? What happened to our government, our leaders? We used to have a Democrat party that just was on different views and Republican party. We don't have parties anymore. All we have for hope is Donald Trump. That's it, guys. It's Trump and J.D. Vance and a few others. And maybe a couple guys named Joey and Vinny and Sally and Paulie and some Irish guys. 11 days. Thank you, Janine. Thank you so much, Janine. As I'm getting, my phone is lighting up where representatives telling me to be careful what I say. I'm not going to be careful. I'm going to tell the viewers the truth. I'm going to tell the viewers the truth and call out the FBI. I'm not saying they're all bad, but a lot of them are corrupted. And I hope and pray that Donald Trump calls out the Republicans and Democrats and the evilness and the stupidity. Now, there's two things in Italian. Either you're stupid, Gavin Newsom, I'm going to be nice, or you're in on it. You got to go. I'm going to say it again. Either you're stupid or you're in on it, referring to these fires. Either way, you got to go. And I don't mean go like that. I mean go to prison. That's what I mean. Let me clarify and don't add words. Either you're stupid or you're in on it. That's it. You got to go. Oh, it's dry. It's dry. My hands are dry. No water. Bullshit. You had water. You let the water go in the ocean. You heard somebody on the phone. You heard people that I'm talking to. They are starting the fires. In addition, no water. It's planned. Boy, it sounds like a horrible movie. It's horrible what's going on. We are being lied to. And they want us to sit here and have our coffee, our water, and watch the TV from New Orleans and from Alabama and from Pennsylvania, Atlantic City, and Philadelphia and Las Vegas and Oregon and Texas. And let me know where you're from and watching this. I appreciate it. And they expect us to sit back and say, act of nature. It was a lightning strike, because sometimes fires happen that way. And let me just say this. We can't predict the wind. They have nothing to do with the wind. Wind is wind. It's been very windy. Wind is participating in this tragedy. But they expect us to sit here and have our Dr. Pepper and say, you know what? Yeah, it's out of control. Climate change did it. Are you kidding me? And Newark's in the house. They expect us to say yes. Guys, let's wake up. Let's wake up. It doesn't mean standing behind Donald Trump. And I'm not trying to make this Trump was perfect. But God, who the hell can we trust? Who the hell else can we trust? They just buried a President Carter. And I'm not going to get in here and knock him. He made a lot of bad decisions. But I don't think he was corrupted. Are you guys with me? Stay with me. MAGA. I don't think he was corrupted. And he helped the homeless. I love that from him. What are we going through? Why are these decisions being made? Al Gore, he started the climate change, global warming. You know where Al Gore does? He goes in his private jets and pollutes the whole nation. There's not enough water. Here we go. He needs to step down.
He's currently
Is he going to step down? Yes.
Right now. That would be the
Step down.
president-elect, Donald Trump. And this is what he told reporters. Take a listen.
Listen, guys.
This is a true tragedy, and it's a mistake of the governor, and you could say the administration. They don't have any water. They didn't have water in the fire hydrants. They don't have water.
The California governor hitting back, saying, quote, people are literally fleeing. Kids have lost their schools. Communities have lost their churches. Families have lost their homes. Some have even lost their lives. And the president-elect's response is to politicize it. We'll continue to focus on what matters, saving lives and putting out these unprecedented fires. And in terms of the water situation, the California governor pushing that back to the local level.
Jay, how are you? Welcome in.
That LA officials will have to look into. Nicole.
Yeah, and Robert, it's not just the governor there of California who's drawing some criticism, but the mayor of LA as well. What are people saying about Karen Bass?
Another piece of shit.
Yeah, Karen Bass is certainly taking criticism from both sides of the aisle.
She
on the
should.
one hand, for being out of the country as all of this was starting to unfold here with these fires, but as well, something else that's been circling around. There was this letter that was sent to the mayor's office by the LA Fire Department chief last month, which raised concerns about certain budgetary cuts, including those for overtime. And this is a section of that letter. It says, quote, the reduction in V hours, that would be overtime, has severely limited.
Thank you for the 37 likes, ladies and gentlemen. Just a friendly reminder, if you can hit the like. We got just finished listening to Donald J. Trump.
Wildfires. She was asked about this at a press conference moments ago, and this was her response. Take a listen.
Address the criticism now over the budget issue and the slashing 17.
This lady needs to step down.
You go back and look at the reductions that were made. There were no reductions that were made that would have impacted the situation that we were dealing with over the last couple of days. There was a little bit of confusion because money was allocated to be distributed later on, which was actually going to support salaries and other parts of the fire department that were distributed a little later.
Nevertheless, the president-elect and many of his allies continue to point the finger at the California governor, the mayor of Los Angeles, as well as this crisis continues on. Nicole.
All right, Robert Sherman, live for us there in Florida. Thank you.
Rich, you're welcome in. Richard
Next,
Feldman.
the response from the federal government and what it could take to rebuild after the most destructive wildfire in LA's history. But first, here's more from our teams on the ground.
Just terrible as we're on a commercial break here. Did you hear Trump say? Did you hear what Trump said?
From St. Joseph, Michigan.
Well, he's right.
School librarian.
It's a simple thing. That lady, that mayor should be fired. Kamala, you're fired. That lady, fired. Get the hell out of here. Prosecuted in jail. Gavin Newsom, I'm going to go a little farther. Step down, jail. Exactly, Ozzy. Well said. Don't point fingers. Just stop the bullshit and don't vote for the crooks. Who do we trust? Great comment. Who do we trust? Who the hell are we going to trust? Don't you think that's why 76% voted for Donald J. Trump? They went in blindfolded and said, oh my God, this guy is a little off, mean. That's why we voted for him. People were scared. People were scared that these things are going to happen. This is baloney. He should be investigated. Not having any pressure in the fire hydrant and letting the water go into our ocean. As a loyal subscriber sent me some information. As another friend of ours have not heard from her, who said they are helping, or they are starting, they are starting these fires. They, who? Who's behind this? Trump will get the answers, trust me. Who's really behind this? Who's really behind the New Orleans terrorists, domestic terrorists, whatever you want to call it? Who is really behind? We got to get back to the Las Vegas. I know a lot of stuff that I'm hearing in Las Vegas, the Cybertruck. I will talk about that maybe tonight. But this here is just a little bit bigger of a story right now because it's fresh and it's happening in California, where a lot more people in California are voted for Trump. Tell me right now that this is not going to change the decisions on these billionaires and these people that are living in California. This will change the decision ongoing. I hate to say this, the Democrat Party might be finished. Not for 4 years, not 8 years, but maybe even longer, like 10, 12 years. If somebody don't have a pair, excuse my expression, ladies and gentlemen, unless somebody doesn't come into office with a pair of balls and straighten his shit out like Trump is. People would die. Forget about the money. Money can be replaced. People died and lost their lives in California. If you live in California, you got to be heartbroken, disgusted with the government, disgusted on the sources and why the fire hydrants had water pressure so low. Let's see the pressure. I couldn't believe it. Water pressure like my faucet. And this is how they're fighting the fires? How do you fight fires with water coming out like this? How do you fight fires like that? Let's get real, guys. How the hell do you fight fires like that? Did you see the looks in the fire department faces with the hoses? Like they were watering some plants in their backyard, some flowers, some roses. I have more pressure in my rocks outside than they had fighting these fires that are spread in so many areas in California.
ShopConnectorExperts.com for OEM automotive connectors and wire harness repair.
That fire was first reported near Altadena and Midway just after 6 p.m. local time on Tuesday.
That car.
This is a live picture out of
Absolute corruption. Welcome in, guys. Welcome in the chat. Thank you for the 46 likes. I appreciate everybody coming in this morning, this afternoon, wherever you're at. I don't even know what time it is. I know I'm early. 10:26 local time in California and Las Vegas, Nevada, where I live. At least 5 are dead and 1,000 homes have destroyed from this massive fire. As in my thumbnail, massive fires. I appreciate all your support. We are a homeless channel on here, meaning any donations on here or memberships will go directly to the homeless people. We're out there fighting at least 5 or 6 days a week and 1 day big a week. One of the 6 or 7 days big. Appreciate everybody for coming in. If you're new, like and subscribe and come on board. I'm not afraid to call out anybody. So this is some of the...
I'll show you that 70 forecast when I come back. Back to you.
This is the...
Thank you, Maria. Amanda here with us right now. A lot of celebrities, right, who have been impacted also by the fires. And not just celebrities, obviously everyday people, but you hear from celebrities.
That's been canceled because they say he wants to follow the federal response to the wildfires in California. He declared that major disaster declaration for California, which...
We're looking at Los Angeles County is what we're looking at. Local time there is 10:27, like I said.
We also know that FEMA, the Federal Emergency Management Agency, they approved...
Military sending 10 helicopters.
that will reimburse California for the firefighting costs. Now with the DoD, the Department of Defense, they are sending those 10 Navy helicopters to help with the wildfires in California. And what we heard from the Pentagon today is that the California National Guard has activated those aircrafts and are preparing the mission assignments as of this morning.
Sarah, how are you, Sarah? Thanks for your support. Welcome back in, Sarah. Thank you. Sister Soldier, welcome in. I'll read some comments here, guys. Impeach Newscomb. Kevin, how are you, Kevin?
Take a listen to this.
The U.S. military stands ready to assist in any way that we possibly can.
Matthew, how are you?
To help the people of.
Good to see you here, Matthew. Peter Dixon.
Have been made thus far. We stand ready to surge capability in as quickly as possible. And I've done some.
J Box Day, just a few that are in here. China is coming. Matt H.
You know, if the whistle blows, we.
Gareth William, how you doing, Gareth? Good to see you in here.
And provide assistance.
And we do have this new post from President Biden just within the last few moments.
I hear you, Scotland. Shout out to Scotland. How's Scotland this morning or this evening?
California National Guard soldiers of the 40th Military Police Company are, quote, the best of us. He says you left your own family, some of whom might be in harm's way, to join the front lines of the wildfire response. We owe you for your service. Nicole.
Thank you, HC Lovebirds. Thank you so much.
Other countries are pitching in to help out the LA area.
UK, what's going on, UK? I hear you, UK. God bless UK. Is this arson? We don't know. But there's something started this fire. It wasn't just caused by dryness. My hands are dry. It wasn't caused by dryness. This is much bigger. Much bigger. My opinion. Much, much bigger. And according to a friend of ours who we haven't heard from now in some hours, they are starting the fires. Who are they? Who are they? Who's starting these fires?
He always spars with California Governor Gavin Newsom. And what he said in a post was, quote, our prayers are with everyone affected by the horrific fires in Southern California. When disaster strikes, we must come together to help our fellow Americans in any way we can.
Ronald Jackson 1. Might be. We might be under attack. We're starting the year off on the wrong side of the bed. Right, Ronald? New Orleans, Las Vegas. Drones in the sky. We haven't heard about the drones anymore, right? And now fires. Phones, Trump phones was hacked. Remember Donald Trump's phone hacked?
Makers, people coming together. Kelly, thank you. Well, the strong winds that have been fueling the wildfires appear to be a bit calmer today. And News Nation meteorologist Max Paris has the very latest on the conditions for us, Max.
Yeah, Nicole, but certainly not as bad as we saw yesterday where we had winds peaking up to...
So the wind has died down. I guess there's some good news. The wind died down, some good news.
They're still elevated enough that they could still spread these flames, and they are hindering the fighting process for sure. However, as you've been seeing, we do have the reconnaissance, the aircraft going out there now because the winds are low enough, but still, look at that smoke-shrouded sky over the LA metro. Again, these reconnaissance...
Vita, welcome in the chat, maybe. Hopefully I pronounced your name correctly. Good comment.
The hilltops, the canyon location, so that's good to see. Meanwhile, on your screen right now, you see the amount of acreage burned is nearly...
Unanimous. Welcome in.
We have not seen this number grow.
Jewish Lightning. Good time. Always great to see the good time in here.
An update when it comes to them.
Fires were planned, Sarah says. Control now, there's shit creek without... Yes, I'm with you 100,000%, Sarah.
Have not been contained at all, and those are continuing.
Very scary times. Very complicated times, right, guys? Very complicated times. These are the wind speeds, guys, we're looking at.
See them slack off later tomorrow. So we have winds gusting anywhere up to around 40 to 50 miles per hour at their peak. Much better than the hurricane force winds from yesterday. Still elevated overnight, and then as we get towards late day tomorrow.
One of the biggest fires I've ever seen in my lifetime. In the chat, one of your biggest fires you ever witnessed? Ever witnessed on live HD 4K TVs? Some people were within minutes from the fires. Anybody who's in that area and had to evacuate, come in the chat and let us know what you're hearing. I'll repeat, anybody that lived in these areas, be free to come in and give us your opinion. Like to hear from you. Like to hear from all who lived in these areas and now have evacuated. Let us know what you're hearing, and thank you for these 60 likes. Appreciate it.
But also tomorrow, finally by late day Friday, with those lighter winds.
Thank you for subscribing. Appreciate it.
That'll make headway for those
Mark, welcome in. It's the drones. Yeah, we don't hear about the drones right now, right, Mark? Isn't it kind of weird how the drones have disappeared?
But we also have millions of people in Southern California.
You live out here? You live out there, rather?
Some of the worst air quality in the world.
I've lived out there all my life. What are you hearing?
Offshore, we still are seeing that settling of the smoke, that's toxic air that.
Great comment, Dennis. Dennis Sharp. Well, great comment, Dennis. Appreciate that. Big Sexy's in the house. Loyal subscriber.
From these now historic wildfires.
Historic wildfires. Look at those hearts from our loyal subscriber there. With the flags, love it. Thank you for your support, lovebirds.
Palisades fire. She is currently housing her grandparents, her parents, her aunt, her uncle, cousins, brother, cats, dogs, turtle, and her boyfriend. Caitlin, thank you so much for giving us some of your time.
Terrible
here.
times.
Certainly, so much devastation. Kind of talk about what the situation is like right now for you and your family.
So we are all in my house in Marina Del Rey. We have 11 adults. We have 6 dogs. We have a cat. We have a 175-pound, 23-year-old African sulcata tortoise. And the Palisades to us is just, it's so much more than a home. I'm the 5th generation Palisadian from my family. We moved there in the 1930s, one of the first families in the Palisades. I was there all day yesterday. My dad did not leave until midnight. My 84-year-old grandfather, that's a photo of our house right now, or last night, that my father took. They tried to stay as long as they could to help fight the fires because we had no services from 10:30 until midnight when our family was there. We didn't see
Thank you,
one fire
Janine.
truck
Appreciate
in the
that, Janine.
neighborhood.
Thank you so much, Janine.
I mean, this is the house that my mom raised her family in, and across the street is the house that she grew up in the Palisades. We're neighbors with my grandparents. My aunt and uncle live 3 streets down with their 2 kids and dog, and we've lived here our whole life. My grandparents met at Palisades Elementary, and it's gone. So we're all at the house in the marina. We're all safe. We're all happy to be here. We didn't save anything other than the Lazy Susan that my grandfather built that was in their backyard. My brother was able to run in and grab that. So at least we have our Sunday night dinner tradition still going. But I mean, it's beyond devastation.
Yeah.
There
so many memories, Caitlin. How difficult was it for them to leave? I mean, you said your dad didn't leave till 10 o'clock last night. How difficult was it? Yeah.
It was like pulling teeth. I evacuated my grandparents and Tortoise at about 3:30 down to the 800 block of Hartsel, and then I got tiptoe over to the marina. And it took me 5 minutes from being out of the Palisades before my grandparents and mom and dad returned to their houses. It was not an easy way to get them out. I mean, we didn't get my 84-year-old grandfather out of there until about 8:30. And he
So
was
are me.
on
So
his
am I.
front
So
lawn
am me,
with a hose in
Janine.
hand. You'll see it right
So
here.
am I,
But
Janine.
He had a hose
Welcome in, Longbeard.
hand. He's
If
trying
you're
to
just
save
coming in,
his
guys,
trying to
we're
save their
local
family
times
memories. I mean,
10:35
they didn't take anything
Pacific
from the house
time,
because it's not
and
about what's
the latest I'm
inside.
hearing
It
from
was
a friend
just
who I
they
cannot
did
say
what
their
they
name
could, and
has
you've
says
got
they are
guys
starting the
that are
fires.
just, they're trying to save their
Trump is
community and,
saying it's Gavin
putting
Newsom's
fires out of the neighbors'
biggest problem.
houses,
He should
utilizing
step down.
everybody's- we're just trying, but
The water went out in the ocean.
and
Fire
like I
hydrants
said,
had
we
no
had
pressure.
no support from any fire truck or anything, which there were too many fires to allocate.
Gavin Newsom did not manage the water. He was being conservative on the water. Worried about climate
When we
change.
last saw it, we were driving out during the flames. I've gotten a few photos from friends and videos, and I mean, there's nothing there. There one house.
California's
the
a
house
wreck.
on
Welcome in, Mark.
Bashford and
How is
Highland
Mark?
on the top of the 900 block. It already has a notice of demolition because they were going to tear it down anyways. But that house is there. So one house in the Alphabet Streets at least. I'm going to head up there this afternoon to take a look at it. But for the most part, I mean, we're all going to be starting from scratch. But the Palisades is such a strong community. I mean, we're a small town in a big city, and we really are a close-knit community. So, what are we going to do?
I'm going to call him worse than Newsom in a minute, Longbeard, because this is just so sad for
I've gotten
what
such
we're
powerful
witness
messages from
people's
friends,
homes, and
family,
it
people
upsets
out of
me when
the
people
state
say,
that I haven't talked to
"Oh,
in
they're
years that are
billionaires.
ready
They
to
have the money."
head to the
These people have
Palisades with
worked
a
hard
shovel.
for what they
So
have,
I want to
and
talk
this
about
should have
that
never
case. I mean, you
happened.
mentioned
This should
your
have
tortoise
never
there,
ever
and
happened.
I
This
mentioned the
bad.
tortoise out of all of the family
Fires
members
happen,
because
but not
you
like,
and your tortoise also
not
have
on
a big
steroids,
following
not like
on
this.
social media. What has been the reaction online?
Well, yeah, Tiptoe, I got him when I was 7 from Santa Claus. I started making
Debbie,
videos of him on
I'm
TikTok
100%
during
with you,
the
Debbie.
COVID
He belongs in jail.
Time. Everybody just
Like
needed
right
a
now.
little bit of a smile on their face, and I really can't find anything that's going to make you smile more than 175-pound.
I tell you why he should be in jail. Because he did this. He had water pressure. He wants to conserve on water, and he has this kind of water coming out of the fire hydrants. This kind of water coming out of the fire hydrants to fight the fires. The fire department chief did not believe. He said, "What the hell's going on? Who's our governor? Who gave you authorization to have water come out like that? Who? It's not all his fault. Welcome in, Barack Obama, Nancy Pelosi, and the rest of them, Al Gore, that started this climate change. We'll put the water into the ocean and don't worry about a day like when we have dry climate, because in my opinion, weather changes, and you know it's dry in California or parts of California. Have the sources ready, like Trump says. Get the water the last couple months or weeks wet down the surface in the mountains and stuff. This way, when you have a tragedy like this, by the way, you guys know this wasn't dryness that caused it, right? You guys know that, right? But let's just say, for conversation purpose, it was a leaf that got caught from the sun and started this. Just for conversation, you are ready and prepared to eliminate this bad fire, horrific fire, correct? So I have an itch in my ear, but right? This is horrible. Horrible government. He should be in jail, somebody said. He's right.
First, we do want to give you a look at more from our crews on the ground.
This, believe it or not, was a car. It's hard to imagine, but
That's
yeah,
a car.
That was a car. And
What kind of car
take a
was
look
that?
at what happened here? There's chrome, or there was.
What
on
kind of
the,
car? Anybody can guess what kind of car that is?
chrome melted. You can see how it melted here. This was a very, obviously, it must have got to some incredible temperature.
BMW?
And then over here, look what fire does to tires. You can actually see the tire treads there. That's what fire does to.
What kind of car was that, guys? Look at those rims. There's more cars.
It's time to say not so fast chronic kidney disease. Because with
Isn't that
progressive
crazy?
disease like
That's crazy, Longbeard. I hope you're doing well, Longbeard. God bless you. It is sad. It's sad. It's upsetting at the same time, right? A Tesla, maybe? Yeah. Words can't describe what we're witnessing, and I have to say I blame the government, the mayor, and all of them above. And I think now, if there's anything, how can I put this, guys? How can I put this? If there's anything I can say that comes out good on this, I believe that the people in California are going to stand behind Trump, because we've seen it on this last election. More people are voting. Let me just say, California is still Democrats, but I believe it's not about Democrat, Republican anymore. I think people are going to start to wake up and say, you know what? I really don't like this guy that much, Donald Trump. We're going to stand behind him, because we can't trust this piece of shit that's running the state of California. We can't trust some of these other government around the nation, and that includes Republicans as well. We can't trust them, but we can trust Trump, because he's going to come strong like Mike Tyson or Rocky Marciano, and he's going to open up with Epstein. We can get into so much stuff, but I won't today. That's another live. He's going to come so strong that they're going to come back at him, and that's where I'm worried, because he doesn't want us to suffer. He's going to come at the FBI, Secret Service, Gavin Newsom. He's going to come at them very strong. And they're trying to sit here and tell us that these fires is because of dry forests and hot air, and these things happen. It's not even fire season. And Gavin Newsom says we have to reserve on water. We need to reserve on water. Put it out in the ocean. Now look what you have. So people in California, I was going to say wake up. You guys are already woken up, but you're just kind of hypnotized by CNN. I think it's time to say, you know what? Let's get our state back. Let's get California back in the chat. Who wants California back? When did we have, I don't live there. What the hell did I just say? I need coffee. In California, when did you guys have a great governor? When was the last time you had a governor? Who's a governor that cares about the middle class, upper middle class, the millionaires and billionaires, and the homeless? Who was a governor? When are you going to have a governor that says, not be Republican, but get it back comfortable, not needles all over the ground, fires that could be we could have prevented these fires, right? Arson and all this stuff that's happening. When are we going to stop that and protect our borders? Let me know who will step up and be the next governor. This mayor? Who elected this mayor? Who is she? How did she become a mayor? How are these people, not only her, become a mayor? How are they becoming a mayor? They don't care about people. Do you think that mayor cares about anybody? Do you guys really think that Gavin Newsom, whatever the hell you want to call him, cares about you and I or anybody living in California? Ronald McDonald. I mean, who's going to be stepping in and have enough pair of balls, excuse my expression, ladies and gentlemen, and say, you know what, we're going to come out and we're going to go ahead and stand tall with our chests out. We're going to make a few mistakes. We're not going to be perfect, but we're going to protect the people. And we're going to make sure that this doesn't happen like this ever again. Biggest fire I've ever seen.
Look at that. I mean, we've seen this over and over again. Just chimneys. That's it. Foundation and chimneys.
What are we looking at here?
Chimneys, burnt out vehicles.
What is this? Chimney.
It's heartbreaking. I've lived here since '94, and it's like it's gone.
What is the status of your home?
It is still standing. I actually live on Chautauqua, and right now we have a very large tree. It's an old home from the 30s and a very mature tree.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate the 74 likes. Thank you so very much for hitting a like and subscribing if you haven't.
No fire damage?
None. We're getting ready to
Appreciate it, Esso.
So, but I'm sure it's going to be smoke damage.
Appreciate that liking and subscribing.
Looking around here and you
Good question. How are the trees still there? Great question.
I mean, do you think everybody's going to come back and rebuild?
You know what I do? I think the Palisades is a very tight-knit community. It's very family-oriented, and I think that they will. Yes, I do.
Amen. Yeah.
Neighbors who
Has
lost their homes?
Newsom step down?
I'm staying in a hotel that is almost all Palisadians. I think there's more dogs in the hotel than Palisadians. We're definitely an animal-loving community.
MTG619, welcome in. Good comment.
I haven't spoken to them if they're going to rebuild or not, but so many people in the hotel have lost their homes. I mean, you look at it, there's fewer homes standing than what was lost. So everybody's kind of in shock at the hotel.
You had your own fire suppression system at your home.
We do.
Look at that home. Beautiful home, huh?
The hose into the pool.
That's a nice home.
So my friend Paul and I, we were.
What does a home like that go for? Anybody can estimate? What's a home like that go for?
We were wetting the
Beautiful.
canyon down, all the trees, for over an hour. But like Paul said, probably about 4 hours.
You think that's what saved your home?
Scarlett, welcome in the chat. I hope you're.
We are on.
Hope you're okay.
Chautauqua. So, and we're on the lower
Prayers are
end
with
of
you.
Chautauqua. I know Upper Chautauqua is basically gone. So I think it helps.
Janine, my wife said that last night. My wife said that last night.
About the response, the fact that there wasn't enough water pressure in the hydrants, and that people
Prayers for your cousin.
gridlocking on their way out.
FEMA's broke.
They couldn't get out, and they left their cars. And what do you think? I mean, do you think there need to be some changes?
Look, I think
Exactly, Janine. No word from the corrupt FEMA lady.
Actually been here that day.
Great comment, Janine.
Critical and criticizing people because the winds were so strong, and they were not going in one direction like some of the other fires. They were swirling everywhere. There was no fighting it. It would not have mattered if the whole place had strong water pressure. It was overwhelming.
Wow.
Interview done by our NewsNation affiliate KTLA.
What an
On
interview,
top
huh?
of the devastating loss of life and livelihood, some of the early estimates have the wildfires with an economic cost well over the $50 billion mark.
That's $1 billion with a B, guys.
$10 billion of that is expected to be insured. That's according to JP
Wow.
Morgan. But with many insurers previously upping coverage,
What's this going to do with the insurance?
in recent months and years, the effort and cost to rebuild will likely only
Mr. S,
climb.
well said.
Investigative correspondent Rich McHugh is here with that portion of the story. So, Rich, what are you hearing from residents?
Hi, Nicole. Well, it's a terrible situation for these residents as they go ahead and they're going to try and recoup their losses from their homes. All these homes, 2,000, I believe, have been structures have been eliminated by this far, and that number is growing. So they have a long road ahead, and we know that many of these residents in California could not get or could not even keep their insurance. Now, in Pacific Palisades alone, last summer, 70% of State Farm customers in Pacific Palisades, that's about 1,600 homeowners, they lost their coverage when the insurer dropped their policies.
Lovebirds, thank you for amazing job today. Janine as well. Thank you so much, Longbeard.
This letter just
Crystal, thank you very much.
We are sorry.
And if I missed one of the moderators, I apologize, but thank you so much. Lovebirds, thank you. Fantastic job, Lovebirds.
Policies that present the most substantial wildfire or fire following earthquake hazards or that area are in areas of significant concentration are no longer eligible.
I appreciate the 81 likes, guys. Thank you so very much.
Coverage with a state plan of last resort called the California Fair Plan. It's an insurance pool which covers up to $3 million.
It looks like something out of a Hollywood movie, right, guys? A Hollywood movie. Look at this.
So here's the situation. Here's why this is all happening in California. In 2017 and 2018, there were back-to-back wildfires.
Love it, HC. Love it. God bless the United States and Italy,
two times
Vietnam,
as much in claims as they received
UK, Canada,
so the major
Germany.
insurers are now reluctant to do business in California, essentially to protect their bottom line. So, Nicole, this will be the first major test of this the state's emergency backup, this fair backup plan. And now you have to wonder, this is like Florida with the hurricanes, two of the most populous states you have in America. It's going to be nearly impossible for residents to get insurance. And, you know,
Skystar, yeah, I mean, I don't know how the insurance companies can survive after this.
Yeah,
how can the insurance companies survive?
All right, Rich McHugh, thank you.
Because there's going to be,
we'll be right back.
It's going to be, I don't know. I don't have the words at the moment. How the insurance company are going to survive. I need more coffee. Yeah, this is a tragic, guys. If you're coming in, this is the third day now of these horrific fires, and we're, you know, reports that fire hydrants with no water or very little water pressure, even till today, I think it was till today, they finally got water pressure to where water pressure should be pressure, right? And then President Trump says Gavin Newsom did not manage the water correctly. He just didn't manage the water. Why didn't he manage the water? Well, he wants to conserve on water. There's been reports. So also my wife said that 100%, my wife talked to a friend of hers who lives in this area right in the heart of this and says she's fine last night. And this morning she was also fine. Her last text message was I don't know who they are. In the comments, you guys can leave your comment. They started the fires. They are starting more fires. So who are they? Are these an act of arson? Are these a terrorism, domestic terrorism groups? Who are they? Who is causing this? Now, we try to text her back, no response. So we hope that she's safe and she's in a safer place. But who are they? Are you guys hearing some of this stuff? They are starting these fires because a lot of people are going to fall into the trap and think it was just some kind of a climate change and dry air. One thing for sure is the winds are horrible and they calmed down. If there's any good news, they've calmed down a little bit today. But who are they? Who are starting these fires? Who have started these arson? Because we know somebody started them, right? Environmental concern. Gavin Newsom. Trump said there was plenty, and I quote, Donald J. Trump, our president, in a few days, I quote, says there was plenty of water, all right, that they let go into the ocean. What's that mean? There was plenty of water that they let go into the ocean. What's that mean, guys? Why? Leave me in the comments. Thank you. 87 likes. Appreciate it. All right. Let me just check the chat a little bit here. It looks like my phone has frozen up here a little bit as the live chats are coming in. We have 840 in the chat. Thank you for all 840 of you guys. If you're just coming in, we're reporting. Unfortunately, I wish it was better news. I guess there is some good news. The winds have died down, right? So there is some good news on this Thursday. If I said Tuesday, I apologize. Thursday, the wind has died down. Nikki, welcome in. Yes, the fire hydrants were empty too. And when they did have water, Nikki, and everybody in the chat, what do you think happened? They had no pressure.
December 17th was my last payment. February, I think it's February 6th, would have been my 13th year in the home. It's my first home ever. So, you know, it's gone.
Sad. Her first home. Very sad. Good morning, Maribel. Good morning. Good morning.
Which passes understanding, because I can't understand it myself. That I'm not, you know, I'm devastated. I am upset, but I'm at peace. And it's different, you know.
Same as Mally.
I'm a worshiper, and the home to me is things.
Somebody in the chat says yes.
Be replaced. We have our life, and that's the most important thing, because we could have not evacuated and stayed in that house. But when they said evacuate,
Amen. Amen to that lady. They have they're alive, right? They're still standing. They're still talking. Amen. Amen. Amen.
If you can talk about what this has been like for you too.
Yes, it's been a nightmare. It was really painful for me. Unlike her, I was screaming and broke down, crying, and just visibly upset because when we
Thank you, Maribel. Appreciate it.
all intentions of coming back, we didn't think we weren't coming back. We're in Pasadena, not Altadena. We've heard of fires being in the hills, and at the point where we evacuated, it was way up the hill. And my friend who lives up there, house was being threatened, but it was behind her. So we didn't grab any belongings or anything.
Jamie 1212, welcome to chat. God bless you. I hear you.
And you know, we came down here to the Pasadena Convention Center. There's thousands of people in there. We were literally sitting in these cots, just kind of worried about everybody else around us. And
Thank you. 97 likes. Appreciate it, guys. Just a friendly reminder. If you forgot to hit the like and you're enjoying the content on here, I appreciate going back and hitting the like, support the channel. We are a homeless channel, help out the homeless and vets here in the Las Vegas metropolitan area where I live on here. So any of the memberships go to the homeless people directly to them. So thank you so very much. And if you're unable at this present time to do so, sit back and relax and share the video when you can, or at least like and subscribe. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Trying to figure it out with 2-day-old outfits on, but it is what it is.
Joan Rodley. I hear you, Joan. Trying to pronounce your last name. Yes, must step down. And I think we should go a little farther. He should be in jail.
Well, that's what we did. We went and set
All the animals, yes.
yesterday to devise a plan. So we're going to try to, you know, get in touch with the insurance company and file
I like this lady though. You know, her first home was destroyed, but she says I'm alive, right? So she's a lady of faith, a lady who's strong, you know. Gavin for prison, 25. I'm with you on that. HC Love, thank you for everything you're doing with yes, thank you.
The gifts and act of love is good because we need to go find us something to put on, you know. And so that's the plan, to rebuild right where it burned down.
Rebuilt.
Bigger.
This lady says rebuilt.
Bigger and better. And Aaron,
Rebuilt.
you know, man, walk up to you, give you a hug. So it's
God bless California. Jose, God bless you.
Yeah, the community is great. Everybody's kind of banding together. A lot of people in this community know each other.
107 likes, thank you.
Especially people.
Terrible times, guys. You're just coming in to chat. We've been on for about an hour.
A lot of people are calling each other, hugging each other.
We are witnessing something, or I am witnessing some. I think we can speak for all. I have never seen anything this horrific as far as fires. Now, a lot of you might come across and say, well, I've seen fires this bad. Maybe, but not like out of control with the wind and the stuff that we're hearing, not enough water in the fire hydrants, right? And what could have been, how we could have probably eliminated a lot of these fires. So a lot of it could have been We could have prevented a little bit of this, I think. I mean, maybe some of the fire would have spread, but if we would have just had water, if we would have had water in the fire hydrants, we would have had some of these fires contained. Now there's still 0% contained on this Thursday, ladies and gentlemen. 0% contained. And like this lady and this couple lost their home. Her home would have been maybe it would have been okay.
In the face of tragedy. Thank you so much, Coco, for that.
But Gavin Newsom says environmental concerns.
Including talking with a principal whose school burned to the ground. So what the plan is.
Trump says there was plenty of water. They let it go in the ocean. Do you guys believe that? Do you guys believe? All right, they're going to take a commercial break. Let me turn the camera around. Hello, and I'm Sal, guys. Welcome in, and thank you all the moderators. Don't get overwhelmed with all the this, that, and whatever in the chat. Try to sit back and take in the content. But let me share this, guys. And thank you for all the new subscribers. We all appreciate it. We help out the homeless on here. So any little bit of donations, like and subscribe, and that kind of stuff goes to the homeless that I'm out there. Let me just share this with you guys. If Trump is correct and the water went out in the ocean, why? Why would they do that? What's your thoughts? Why would they do that? Put the water from the rain and snow that they had last year, the year before. I think the year before had a lot of snow. We're kind of our neighbor state, and we usually get the tail end of the rainstorms in California. Why would he do that? Who gave him the authority? Excuse me, allergies. Who gave him the authority to let the rain and the natural water go into the ocean and not have that reserve here in California? That's a big mistake. A. B, why was there no water in the fire hydrants? He says we need to conserve. We need to conserve on water. Bullshit. Now you have people lost their lives, people lost their homes. We have a problem with insurance. The insurance is going to go off the roof. People are going to start moving out of California and come to Vegas and elsewhere. What the hell happened to you, Gavin Newsom? I can tell you what happened to him. He was also brainwashed, corrupted by Barack Obama, just to name a few, Nancy Pelosi, Al Gore, and a lot of the other, and some Republicans. That's why they don't give two shits about the American people. All they care about is their Uncle Joey, Uncle Vinny open up restaurants and their SBA loans. Do you remember that? Do you want to go back that far? I won't. Yes, that's what they care about. She should be in jail, Nancy Pelosi. Want to talk about the COVID? We could talk about that as well. What do you think that was? Huh? A China virus that happened in the lab. Dr. Fauci. I'm Italian. He's Italian. He's a piece of shit. He belongs in prison. He's another one. Should we go on? Some Republicans, too, are at fault. Okay, my conservative friends? They are at fault. Trump is going to step in. And I'm telling you, he's going to eliminate a lot of the bullshit. The only problem I'm more worried about is he eliminates a lot of the bullshit. Here's what's going to happen. Will we suffer and they take him or try to assassinate him or come after us? And I'm still a believer that somehow behind this, yes, it could just be arson, but there's something bigger behind these fires that I might talk about tonight. I might come on live tonight because I got to get to a client and a meeting. But I got to tell you, there's something bigger and worse behind it. I could be wrong, but there's no way in hell. Just like the New Orleans, 14 people lost their life, and in Vegas, an hour later, somebody goes into the Trump International Tower, not a casino, and that happens. There's more to this story than we're being let know about. Oh, just a little bit of dryness, and this happened, and the winds took off. The only thing they're right about is one thing. They're right about one thing: the winds. They're right about the winds. The winds are out of control. They are correct about that. And I'm not pointing fingers at the media. And I'm not pointing fingers at other YouTube channels because people are just getting nervous talking about this thing. Why? Just tell the truth. We want answers. All right, let's take one more last look here.
Which is an opportunity that firefighters.
So apparently, this journalism here says it's calmed down a little bit. That's good news. She's I appreciate the likes. Look at these horses. Look at these beautiful horses, huh? Beautiful horses. What kind of horses?
Evacuation zones do extend to Santa Clarita and the Newhall Pass.
Wow.
The Sunset Fire burned 60 acres
Crazy.
in the Hollywood Hills, and there's zero containment there.
Wow.
Flames are pushing towards Hollywood Boulevard, but most evacuations have been lifted at this point, and residents are returning home, but are urged to stay alert. Firefighters are monitoring for flare-ups.
Somebody said created by drones. We don't hear about drones anymore, do we?
You can see the dramatic footage there, flames engulfing a four-story home on Sunswept Drive. The fire then spread to nearby brush and buildings. More than 50 firefighters quickly, though, brought this blaze under control. There was some damage to surrounding structures, but no injuries.
Hello, Ellen.
When the fire was at its height, there was this sense of even if a spot fire would break out, you just didn't know what was going to happen next because it was just, you know, burning so ferociously and those winds were kicking up. But hopefully it's going to be a different situation today.
We got a press conference here. Should we listen to this press conference, guys?
Yeah, it's so encouraging. I mean, we listen to those
Lasting memories, memories they will hold on to. But as they look at their community now, their hearts break.
I'm sorry for that, Sarah. Yeah, that's still going around too, the COVID. May you get better. The only thing I know, Sarah,
was
it's
LA
not as
Mayor Karen
bad.
Bass.
Get better.
Nicole, as you know, she has been under heavy criticism for being out of town, out of country. When this fire broke out over 2 days ago, she was in Ghana. She rushed back to LA. And I mentioned earlier on the air here, as LA residents, we were warned.
Good man, Jose.
days.
I'm right behind you.
Alerts on our phones telling us about this life-threatening windstorm that was on the way. And the highest red flag warning was also up because of the risk of fires with these 100-mile-an-hour winds. And the fire that broke out here in Palisades, it spread so fast. It wiped out much of this community so fast. And it's just heartbreaking to see. Nicole?
Yeah, certainly is. All right, Nancy Liu live on the ground for us there in Pacific Palisades. Thank you. Senior national correspondent Brian Inton also on the ground in Southern California. Brian is live in Altadena. Brian, what are you seeing there?
Yeah, similar to what Nancy was saying, it's just awful. I mean, all of these houses are gone, you know, block after block. I want to bring in Fran, who I just met here. This is your home.
Thank you for the likes, guys. Just a friendly reminder, if you haven't liked this content and you're enjoying it, to hit the like. We are homeless. We fight for the homeless and the vets here. So we appreciate the likes. Thank you.
We've been here 26 years.
Wow.
Debbie's been here almost her whole life. Her parents.
Nikki, great comment.
Chris,
Nikki, great
they've been
comment,
here.
Nikki.
Her
Moeller.
parents lived here. The corner house, their parents owned it. They've lived here.
A great comment, actually, Nikki.
We've all known one another for many years. Tina and Debbie and I, our kids went to school together from kindergarten. So we've known one another. Our kids are in their late 40s now. We were in a neighborhood, helped one another, greeted one another. We're always here for one another. And we're still going to.
Well said, Brandon Scott. God bless you. Well said.
It's a beautiful place, quiet.
Jesus is coming, somebody says.
Friendly.
Maybe.
Just good place to be. Raise your kids if you have them.
Hello, Jimmy.
And this is it. And even here, Todd and Buzz moved in several years ago. And
Dizzy, what's up,
really
Dizzy? How are you?
Job. Julie, prior to that, built it. In fact, Ann Huntington built our house. She was married to one of the Huntingtons. I don't know who, from the Huntington Library.
So you left yesterday,
We
and
left-
what happened?
We left. Today's Thursday. The fire was that Tuesday. So Tuesday night,
Heartbreaking, yeah.
I got a phone call telling us, and within 20 minutes we had to get out. And they told us that within an hour of hearing about it, the houses were gone. It was the wind that just whoa. And
David, how are you?
all of us
Jeffrey.
just got
Jeffrey's in the
mad.
house. Oh,
I
Jeffrey,
just
how are you?
grabbed and went. And
Yeah, I'm looking at your house. It's a brick house. I mean, I would have thought.
Well, the funny part about my house.
Nick, how are you,
everybody
Nick?
always said it. I have a cement slab. Everything was glass on the back, except for my fireplace, and brick. And Anne Huntington built it like that. And everybody else, she was the first one to build on this area. And it was in 1951 that they finished it.
Wow.
And then she died. She passed away, and we bought it.
Were you able to get anything out before?
No, not really. I mean, we were so scrambled because it was so windy, and every time I opened the front door, and you could see
Angelina,
that
how are you?
outside, I mean, it was started from our viewpoint this big. And
So we have 11:07 local time. It's the same time in Las Vegas, guys. So it's my pleasure to bring you some of this coverage, but I got to tell you, it's sad. It's very sad watching this with you guys. Let me lower this for a second. I'm going to come on here.
There's 3 little houses. My younger brother.
It's heartbreaking. Words can't describe. But unfortunately, Gavin Newsom did not start the fire, but it has to have some blame if it's true. And it's what I'm hearing from reliable sources. A woman who I know very well, cannot say her name, haven't talked to. They have started these fires. There was no water in the fire hydrants. And then when they did get the water was running very slow. And it was like putting water in your plants. It wasn't enough water to give you an indication. And then finally the water came out. The pressure came out. That should have been, the sources of the water should not go on the ocean like Trump says, right? And that water should have been prepared and had everything moist and, soaked. Now, said all that, would that prevent all the fires? No, we still would have had fires, but it wouldn't have been catastrophic. This is the worst fire that most of us are experiencing. The only fires that come to my mind is the movies you watch on Netflix and Prime Video. You know those movies, those low-budget movies or whatever. This is so unreal. The only good news is the winds are calming down, and finally now they got water after people lost their lives, 5, and they finally are able to, hopefully if the winds die down, because that's not his fault, let's just be honest, but they can start fighting these fires and eliminating destruction and going into another city. I mean, this is bad. I can smell it here in Las Vegas, just to give you a little bit of a indication on how bad the fires are. And I was watching a YouTube channel yesterday. I forget who it is. I wish I remember her because she did a good job, the young lady. And she was showing us a little bit. I think her name was Jessica. And she was describing on showing the viewers on her YouTube channel. I encourage you to subscribe. I wish I can think of her whole name. Jessica, young girl from Jersey, where I'm from. And she was giving you her take and how close it was. I'm looking out my window. It's weird. It's crazy. I can almost see smoke here. Anyhow, guys, just pray to somebody, whoever you believe in. I believe in God, and pray there's rain. Pray that the wind stop and the firefighters. Pray that Gavin Newsom will eventually do the right thing, and that we can get these fires eliminated and they can rebuild from this. But again, if you're just coming in, Gavin Newsom says we need to be conserve on water because we have a water. And now look what you have. Homes that are just demolished. Insurance. How can insurance survive after this, right? Fire hydrants, no water. And then they finally got water with a little pressure. And Trump says there's plenty of water. They let the water go into the ocean. That's according to Donald J. Trump, who's going to be sworn in a few days. Now, I welcome everybody back. Make sure you like and subscribe. If one of my moderators can just put in there, like and subscribe, I appreciate it. We will come back live probably tonight. I want to develop a different story on what the hell is happening with, we're going to talk a little bit about New Orleans, what I'm finding out, and then Las Vegas. Remember that on January 1st, within an hour apart, and they're calling it domestic terrorists. And then they're saying in Vegas, they're not ruling it out still. And then they were saying that they're ruling it out. And now they're saying it could be. And the email that was sent to, the email that was sent to Sean Ryan. Sorry, guys. We're going to talk about that as well. So we'll be talking about that later on this evening or even sooner than that. I have to go, guys. I have a client that I have to go ahead and help. I'm Sal Capano. Thank you for liking, share. Make sure you support other YouTube channels that are sharing this content or not sharing it with a like, because it does help YouTube and the algorithm. If you enjoy their content, if you don't, then what can I tell you? Go on. Stay tuned for more coverage on my station. I will be back on soon. Thank you so much. All the moderators who are taking care of thank you, HC Love, who are on here, taking care of some of the if, ands, and buts. I don't call them trolls. I call them if, ands, and buts. I appreciate it. I appreciate everybody coming on, all my loyal subscribers. And again, this is a homeless channel. Any donations on this channel, 100% will go to the homeless. Me and my wife are out there fighting for the homeless 6 out of 7 days a week. Thank you, Mike M. I didn't see you in there, Mike. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. I will see you later on. Stay tuned. Stay tuned to later on. You guys be safe. Be safe out there, guys. God bless you. Be safe. Remember, tomorrow's another day. I'll see you next. Take care. God bless. God bless.